Hi, Jackie Van Riller here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can boost your chemicals of happiness. So your nervous system is your body's entire communication system, and it is sending messages constantly about whether you're in stress or whether you're in a state of relaxation. When you're in a state of stress, your body is generally running on the chemicals of stress, and particularly the chemical cortisol, which we want to have enough cortisol, but if you have too much, it causes havoc on our body, causing our brain to not think clearly, causing us to gain weight, become inflamed, have pain, inflammation, and all of those things. When your nervous system is feeling good, it's going to release these chemicals, these hormones, and neurotransmitters that make us feel good. So in today's video, we're going to talk about those. I'm going to show you specific points for some of these really important neurochemicals of your body. If you're not signed up for my email list, make sure you sign up so you get these face maps delivered right to your inbox. Sorry, there's a glare if I hold it straight. But you can follow along with the videos with these face maps. Many people have reached out recently asking for former videos that I've done. Unfortunately, I do not have a way of really sending former emails very easily, so just make sure you sign up so you don't miss any of them. So we're going to start with our kidneys. This is a popular place to start. Put your fingers on the corners of your mouth, all the way up to your forehead, to the hairline, and then come down just maybe like a centimeter or half a centimeter, and you'll feel an area like a little divot that your fingers will fit into. If this area doesn't feel like a divot, if it's very like bulky or puffy, it's just an extra sign that those kidneys need some extra love and attention. For this point, we're going to use the kidneys because we want to increase the hormone of dopamine, or sorry, not the hormone, neurotransmitter. Dopamine is responsible for your focus, concentration, motivation, and feelings of pleasure. So dopamine is really important if you're striving towards a goal, you're trying to accomplish something, you need that dopamine to give you the energy to go after it. Now, most of us don't have enough dopamine, so what we do is we find activities or things to do that give us little hits of dopamine. Constantly checking your phone, your email, your social media, grabbing a sweet treat, alcohol, drugs, porn, all of these things will give you a little hit of dopamine. But the problem with that is that you'll get a little hit and then you'll get a drop off. And then you have to get a bigger dose of whatever it was that gave you the hit in order to get the same pleasure reward. So what we really want to do is focus on things that are going to enhance your life and strive towards those things, and that will help increase your dopamine. And the kidneys are really important for that. As you can see here, when I work the kidney points, notice that this one got pretty red. That just means that needs some extra love and attention. And I'm also using a new magic wand. This is one that just arrived today. This one is made out of 0.9999% pure silver. And silver is the most conductive metal that there is. Your nervous system does run on electrical charges. These electrical charges trigger the releases of neurotransmitters, and the neurotransmitters can then cause the release of hormones and things like that. So I'm kind of testing it out, and it does seem like it goes a little bit deeper than the stainless steel. If you don't have a magic wand yet, you do want to get one, but just use your fingertips for now. You won't feel the sensations quite as acutely or intensely, but it will still be helpful. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come across the center of our forehead and then do the outer kind of half of the forehead. And you just go back and forth with a line, or wherever you feel the bumpiness, you can do circles in that area. You can go back and forth right over that bumpy area. And this is a point of relaxation. So when your body's in a relaxed state, it is probably secreting a couple of different neurotransmitters or hormones, but the main one is probably going to be GABA or GABA. This is a very relaxing neurotransmitter that causes instant feelings of calmness. As we're working these 2 points, you're also probably going to be releasing some serotonin, because both of these points also have to do with the gut, and 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. So the right hand point's going to have to do with the gallbladder, left hand point's going to have to do with the spleen. And so GABA and serotonin are really important for feelings of calmness. Serotonin is great for happiness, feeling contented, and also for self-confidence. Both of them are great for reducing anxiety and depression. Okay, next we're going to come right in here to this right above the inner brow. And this area has to do with the shoulders. So we can relax the shoulders, and that allows better flow through the neck and connecting the head to the body. So great for nervous system flow. And then we're going to go to the other side. Taking some deep breaths as you're doing this, make sure you're nice and relaxed. Moving your detector fairly slowly so you can feel where there are lumps and bumps. Those are all areas of stress, and when your body's under stress, it's releasing cortisol, and that can really mess up your body in many different ways. Next, we're going to go from the center of the forehead all the way down to the end of the nose there. And so as we're working this point, this has to do with memory and focus. So that has to do with the dopamine. Again, we're going to move down a little bit to 106. This has to do with melatonin. So melatonin is important for your sleep-wake cycles, for sleeping well, dreaming, REM sleep, making sure that you get restorative sleep. When you have plenty of melatonin, it literally shuts off cortisol. When cortisol is high, it shuts off melatonin. So a lot of times when you have high cortisol levels, you get these little spikes of cortisol throughout the night. It actually depletes your body of melatonin and you're not able to sleep well. What happens with excess cortisol is that what we want is we want cortisol to be highest in the morning. So it should start kind of producing cortisol at night about 2 in the morning and then kind of steadily rising until you wake up. Then you should have the highest level of cortisol of the entire day when you're waking up in the morning, and that gives you a lot of energy and focus and motivation and kind of that get up and go. And then the cortisol level should decrease throughout the day. What happens when you get little spikes of cortisol throughout the day is you get this little spike in the middle of the day, then you kind of fall and you lose your energy, then you get a spike right before you go to bed and you can't fall asleep, so you have insomnia. Then you're up half the night, you finally fall asleep around 2 or 3 in the morning, your alarm goes off at 6, you're still sleeping soundly at that point, so now you're trying to get up, you have no cortisol or no energy, and so you're on this tired and wired cycle throughout the day. You're not getting good sleep, you don't have good energy throughout the day, and we want to actually reverse that. So you have high cortisol in the morning, decreases at night as it gets to the lowest point, your melatonin spikes, you're able to fall asleep, get nice restful restorative sleep, and then have your cortisol spike again in the morning. Next, we're going to come down right between the brows, and this point is for the pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland is very much a part of the stress response. So it's when you have a stressor that's triggering your nervous system, it will activate the HPA axis, or the hypothalamus pituitary axis. Once that is activated, it will trigger the release of cortisol. So at this point, the pituitary gland is actually really important for releasing some other natural relaxing chemicals and hormones, and particularly growth factor is a really important one. Growth factor is one that's important as you're a child and you're growing. It helps you to have adequate growth and development. As an adult, your growth hormone tends to fall off as you grow older, but having adequate amounts of growth hormone is really important for muscle strength, metabolism, and things like that, and also just staying young and youthful. It's often known as the fountain of youth. So if you can turn off that stress response, you'll actually find that you age a lot slower. You have more muscle strength, a higher metabolism, and then also healthier skin as well. Next, we're going to come down to this point just a little bit below where the eyes are, and this is a point for the diaphragm. The diaphragm is what controls your breathing, and it also surrounds your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve is called the wandering nerve, and it goes from your brain all the way to your gut, and serotonin can actually travel up the vagus nerve into your brain, causing more feelings of happiness, feeling content, feelings of well-being, and feelings of confidence. So you want to have that vagus nerve nice and relaxed, and you can do that by relaxing the diaphragm. The diaphragm is tight around that vagus nerve. It won't allow it to flow very easily. And then you won't get that nice calm, confident feelings that you get with serotonin. And then we're going to come down to this spot right here where this cartilage softens up on your nose. This is a really great spot for bringing your energy down into your abdomen or into your dantian. And this allows your brain to shut off. So this is going to be great for dopamine as well. So allowing that focus, memory, concentration, those types of things. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the side. So I got a little itch there. To the side of the nose, we're going to come in front of the nasal bone right here. This opens up your nasal passageways and releases endorphins. We're going to come underneath the cheekbone. So this is where we're going. We're opening up the nasal passageways. Cheekbones are associated with the lungs. And then as we go up to where the ear attaches to the face, that's the shoulders. So this is, I call this a confidence boost. Open up the nasal passageways, increase in endorphins. Endorphins are these feel-good, blissful chemicals that are released. A lot of times people know it as the runner's high, but you don't necessarily have to be running. It's when you get really good oxygenation throughout your body, you're going to notice these feelings of bliss and feelings of euphoria. It's because endorphins bind with opioid receptors in your body and create those lovely feelings. Next, we're going to work up here, relaxing the shoulders, allowing more flow. And then the lungs have to do with feelings of happiness and zest for life. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. Opening up the nasal passageways, allowing increased oxygenation, increasing endorphins, and then just opening up the bottoms of the lungs, allowing airflow, deeper breathing, slower breathing, which reduces anxiety. Feel if you can't already breathe easier and better just by doing that. Okay, work where the top of the ear meets the face. Notice if you notice a little boost in your color with that, or even just a little cheekbone lift. That's one of my favorite moves for those things. Okay, next we're going to come to the right-hand side in line with the bottom of the nose and directly underneath of the eye. This is the spot for the liver. I like just supporting the skin in between that and working this whole area. The liver is also going to have to do with increased energy and dopamine as well. The liver in and of itself is all about learning, energy, focus, competitiveness. So really good when you're striving for your goals or you have something that you're really working towards. Working that liver is a really important point. Next, we're going to move over to the spleen and the stomach, which is going to be on the left-hand side. So stomach's going to be about here. Spleen's going to be here, directly underneath the iris of the eye. Both of these points have to do with serotonin and relaxing, feeling more calm and connected. Both of these points are also gut-related points, and so they're about putting your energy into your digestive system. When your body's in a state of stress, energy and circulation and nutrition and all of these things are diverted away from your digestive system. It can cause a lot of issues with that, but it can also cause a lot of issues with you being able to think clearly and make good decisions. The spleen and the stomach have to do with feeling grounded, calm, decisive, and firm in your beliefs. When they're out of balance, you'll be more worried, you'll have ruminating thoughts, it'll be difficult to make a decision. So you really want to make sure that the spleen and the stomach are in a good state energetically before you make a decision, because otherwise you might kind of hem and haw or make a decision that you regret later. Okay, next we're going to work some points right underneath of the nose and on the upper lip here. If you are pregnant, you're going to want to avoid all 4 of these points. So just skip them. We're going to work right underneath the nostrils in here. This is for the pancreas. The pancreas is about enjoying the sweetness of life. A lot of times when we're not really enjoying life, what'll happen is that you'll crave sweets, you'll crave something to eat that won't be healthy for you, and you'll do that to get that dopamine hit. And you'll feel better momentarily, but then you'll regret that you had done that. Next point is right underneath in the center of the upper lip, and this has to do with your reproductive system. This is about sending energy to the reproductive system and increasing the hormones of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone and balancing those. When we are in a state of stress, your body does divert energy away from your reproductive system, just like it does your digestive system. And so this is going to help you with feelings of love and connection, connecting to your partner and those people that are important in your life. And then we're going to work right in here. So when the upper lip meets the nose, this spot is a spot that activates the sympathetic nervous system. So a lot of times you'll hear that the sympathetic nervous system is called your fight or flight. You can also be in the sympathetic nervous system and be more playful and happy and energetic and things like that. And so this is what this point will do for you when you're activating that. Okay. Then we're going to come up here and go work across the upper chin. This is working the small intestine. Again, really good for that digestive system and that serotonin, those feelings of confidence, happiness, and well-being. Next, we're going to come up here underneath both of the eyes, and this will be our final point. This is a point for releasing oxytocin, so feelings of love and connection, and points for reducing anxiety. This point also increases circulation. If you think of your blood as your joy, we want to circulate that throughout your body. Make sure the blood is strong and healthy. Notice how relaxing this point is. This point also is for the pericardium, and the pericardium gives the pumping of the heart some extra oomph. So this also gives all the other points that we're working a little bit of extra oomph as well. So it helps them to work better and more effectively. That's why I like doing this point at the very end of a routine. But notice how you're feeling after doing this. Do you feel happier, more calm, more grounded? What is the feeling that you're feeling? Be sure to comment and let me know what you've noticed through doing this. This is one I loved doing when I first started practicing facial reflexology. I did this on a couple of my clients, and I saw a mood change just like that. I had one client who had just gotten in a fight with her husband. She was kind of upset at him when she came in, and by the time she left, she's like, I'm not even sure what I was mad about. I definitely couldn't even go back to being mad if I wanted to. Another time I had a teenager whose mom had sent him in. He definitely did not want to be there. He was very unwilling to really hold a conversation. He wouldn't look me in the eye when he came in. And within about 5 minutes into the routine, he was telling me stories and jokes and having a conversation. He ended up staying about 10 or 15 minutes after his treatment and chatting with me. And I was like, this just happened so quickly that this guy's entire mood changed. So this is a great one that you can do if you need a quick mood change. But also don't be afraid to practice this on somebody else. As you're going for the holidays, sometimes, people can get in irritating moods when they're around family or whatever, but be like, hey, can I just try this thing on you really quick? Even if you just remember a few of the points, I bet that you elicit a nice mood change for those around you. As always, we're finishing up by working around the ears. This helps to, again, boost that lovely neurotransmitter dopamine. It also helps to reduce the emotions of fear and helps you feel more connected with those around you. Also balances your entire body, so if you're feeling a little bit off, just working around your ears, or even just coming in and pulling and massaging your ears will be really helpful for getting your body back into a state of balance. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do not have your magic wand yet and you'd like to get one, I will put the link in the description below for my website, and you can go over there and order one. And make sure you sign up for my email list so you get all of these lovely face maps delivered right to your inbox once a week. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.